All right, welcome everybody. Thanks for jumping on tonight. This is always a pleasure to see all of you here to learn about what's going on in the world of Nodi and Cirrus and Web3 and everything else. So we will go ahead and dive in to respect everybody's time tonight. We've got an updated slideshow that I think everybody's going to be excited to hear about or to see. And I've kind of rearrange some things to make it as user-friendly as possible. So let's go ahead and share the screen and we'll get started. All right, so Cirrus Networks. Why is this so cool? Well, the first thing we got to say before we get started is that this presentation is, of course, for informational purposes only. We're just going to discuss software. We're going to talk about opportunities to build a team and earn some commissions and things like that. But we're not talking about investments or selling tokens or having any kind of contracts or investment, anything like that. Okay. What we're doing is just educating you on the world of decentralization, Web3, and the future of loyalty and rewards and how that could potentially be a benefit. So let's go ahead and dive in and really understand. And if you're like me, we all love getting free stuff, right? Like that's one of the things that has just been fun for the last several even decades is loyalty programs, right? People love to get their frequent flyer miles. People love to go to certain restaurants where they get points or they get some kind of a coupon for their loyalty. It's just the way things have been done now for a long time, right? And we enjoy it. We have fun, whether it's the stars at Starbucks or points over at McDonald's for getting free food, or getting those sky miles so we can get a free flight. Whatever it is, most companies nowadays have some kind of a loyalty program to keep us coming back, right? And it all started for me. I remember this very vividly with a restaurant called Cafe Rio. So here locally in Utah, we had these restaurants that are Mexican food, and it was awesome because you get up to the front of the line, and so they make your food, they serve it in these little tin tray things, and then as you were going to pay, you have a little card, right? A little card that you can see here. He's holding up, and they would stamp it, and once you got 10 stamps, then you would get a free meal. And it was so fun because they would shout it out, right? They would, you get there and you had one, you had the 10 stamps on there, and the cashier would shout, free meal, and everybody in the line would free meal, everybody in the kitchen would shout free meal, and the whole restaurant would be so excited that you were getting your free meal. And then they started giving out these golden free meal cards that you could get and get your free meal. So super fun. It was exciting. The gamification that came with it, right? And it was just it was a cool experience. And you were saving some money. Well, the future of rewards and loyalty is changing because of something called Web3, okay, or blockchain. A lot of people have heard the term blockchain. And basically, what it is just the latest version of the internet, okay? Web 1, you could think of back in the 1990s when the internet just came out and there was www this and www that, and we all thought it was the World Wide Wrestling Federation or something, right? Well, what is this internet stuff? Then few decades go by and you got Web 2.0, social media, right? You've got the Facebooks and the Instagrams and the all the different things that people use nowadays. And it was kind of like now you can interact, right? It wasn't just see the web page, it was interacting with it. Well, Web3 now is a totally new concept that started just a few years ago, but it's starting to take hold. And one of the ways that it's starting to take hold is through loyalty programs. Why? Well, because here's the problem. If I had one of those Cafe Rio cards, right, and I had 10 stamps on it, and I took that over to one of the competitors, right? Maybe I went to Los Hermanos, right, or some other Mexican restaurant, and I would say, hey, I want to redeem this for a free meal. well, they would laugh at me or think I was joking or something, right? Because that's the problem. Those loyalty programs are only good at the place that gave them out. So you can't use Delta Sky Miles at American Airlines, for example, right? So and not only that, they can also change them. They can, they expire if you don't use them a certain time or whatever. So even as cool as they are and as fun as they are, they're still just basically a glorified coupon. Okay. But what if the rewards that you earned could not only be used on everyday, on just restaurants and stuff like that, where you're going, but you could actually use them on everything. So if you earned points for Cafe Rio, you could actually use them at McDonald's, right? Wouldn't that be a really novel, interesting kind of concept? Well, that's what Web3 allows for, okay? Because it's based with blockchain on what we would call cryptocurrencies, right? You've all heard of Bitcoin. We've all heard of this trend of what's going on with the crypto. And a lot of people thought, oh, it's funny money, it's weird. But that's not the case anymore. The whole world is going towards crypto. In fact, I can almost guarantee by the end of 2026, you will have the option in whatever bank you use to have Bitcoin and Ethereum and other cryptos. Okay. It's happening. The whole world is adopting it, and even the big banks are starting to adopt it. So, what does that do for us? It allows us to use our rewards on all kinds of things, from mobile service, streaming videos, conferencing software, cashback shopping, travel, and so much more. And not only that, you could actually cash them out and just get dollars, right? Maybe you say, I don't need any of those things. I just want to get money, right? And you can do that. So that all happens because of something called the Noti blockchain. It takes loyalty from an engagement gimmick to an asset. Okay. That's why this is so important, because all those traditional loyalty points, they are failing because they're not backed by anything. They're only redeemable internally. The issuer can change the rules at will. They can't expire. But with a blockchain based reward, now you have actual cash flow linkage because you can sell them, and credible redemption guarantees. So you can use them internally still, but you know what they're worth, right? And the other cool thing is the scarcity that's built into it. So they're deflationary. They could actually potentially go up in value, right? Now, no guarantees on that, but we have seen what other successful types of cryptocurrencies have done. And the majority of the real ones, right? Not the crappy ones, but the real cryptos that are out there, Bitcoin and Ethereum and others, they've all gone up over time, right? Just because of the nature of what they are. So that's what's so cool. And so what is the blockchain? Well, it's really just a ledger. The reason that those coins, right, and those kinds of projects actually function is because it's just a digital online ledger that tracks information, that stores those transactions, and is transparent and secure. That's the key word, the security of it, because since it's distributed, okay, it's basically like having a backup of that ledger all over the world. So even if, my piece of the blockchain goes down here in Utah, there might be another piece of it that's still alive in Japan and in Mexico and somewhere else in the world, right? So as long as there's one somewhere in the world, it's protected, it's guaranteed, it's secure, transparent. So really, really interesting concept. And that gives trust. And that's what people like and love, right? They want to be able to trust an entity. They want to be able to know that it's not a scam. It's not going to go away. Okay. So because it's all transparent, because it's all verified, and because it's all permanent, well, now those records can't be altered. The transactions they're transparent, so you can actually go on the blockchain and see what's going on and see the different things being written there, not in a privacy invasive kind of way, right? But you can see that it's real, that it's actually happening. They can't hide behind something and cook the books, for example, right? So the network itself has to approve all those transactions and come to a consensus and make sure that it's real. And so you don't have corruption going on. You don't have manipulation going on. It's really, really fun. So at this point, you're probably thinking then, okay, I see that this is the future, right? But how does this actually benefit me? Or how could I be involved in something so technical like this? This sounds kind of complicated. Well, we're going to try and make it really easy for you to understand what it is we're doing. There's 3 ways that you could participate, okay? The first way that we recommend is being an owner, right? Ownership, okay? So you can be part of the blockchain, part of this whole concept with some ownership by hosting a node. Okay, that's the phrase we use. And it basically just means that you purchase some software that gives you the right to have that digital ledger, that blockchain, that piece of the blockchain that belongs to you. Okay. And now you also have voting rights and you get to participate in the community. You're active. It's like being part of a neighborhood, right? And you just bought a home in that neighborhood. And so you're part of that community. Okay. You have ownership in that community. Pretty cool. Now, the other thing, of course, is participation, right? Because it's one thing to just buy your little property in that neighborhood, but then never interact, never talk to your neighbors, never go shopping in the local stores around town, right? But no, we want to participate if possible, right? And that's great, okay? Because there's incentives for participation. You can get rewarded every single day with Noti tokens just for contributing to the ecosystem, just by being part of it, right? And then, of course, the other fun thing is to then promote, okay? So the third way to participate is through promotion, meaning that you now are an ambassador. You get to go share the cool stuff that's happening with the Noti blockchain and with the products and services that are happening inside of the Noti blockchain. In other words, live your life, get rewarded, and then share the good news about that, right? And now you can actually earn dollars, not just digital rewards, but actual dollars for sharing the word, just for telling a few friends about it who might want to get involved as well. Okay, so what does ownership look like? Well, it basically is owning a node, like I mentioned. Okay, so it's digital infrastructure where you have your little piece of it, and well, you can actually have lots of pieces of it. Okay, you could have one house in the neighborhood, you could buy the whole block, right? You can have multiple houses in the neighborhood, just depends on how much you want to do, right? And it just supports the blockchain activity, and you earn rewards simply for being an owner. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So we like to call that being a digital landlord, right? That's what it is. It's I bought I bought a home, I bought an apartment building, whatever it is, and the more you own, the more rewards you're going to get. But being an owner in the ecosystem, in the infrastructure, is like being a landlord. Okay, we like to call it that. So you're not actually buying real property, right? This isn't real estate, but you're owning a piece of this Web 3.0, right? This infrastructure that powers the whole community verification. Okay, so being a digital landlord. So kind of like having a generator, right? So you buy your node and it helps to power the whole thing. Okay, that's what's really cool. It's the impact is real because you run that node and it helps make the whole community and the network stay strong, which allows it to thrive and it allows everybody to grow together. Okay, so you're providing a source of power for that with just a one-time purchase of your node. Okay, now, so think of it again, it's the infrastructure, right? So it's decentralized, it's you're supporting it, everything like that. All right. Now, how do the rewards work? Well, think of it kind of like the highway. Here's another example of how this works. If the network, okay, is like a highway, and that's the blockchain itself, right? There's users that are going to drive on that highway. So On that highway also, depending on what part of the country you're in, there's toll booths, right? And so node owners and validators, they're kind of like the toll booth operators, okay? So to do things on the blockchain, of course, there's going to be fees and protocol rewards and other things. Those are the tolls, right? So not necessarily for us as users, but for those that develop different products and services for the blockchain. Okay, they're the ones that are paying the fees and paying the different things. And because we have ownership in that, we get some of that toll reward, right? So that's the idea. And the more nodes you own, it's like having more toll booths along the highway. So you're earning more because more people are trafficking past your toll booth, right? So that's pretty cool. So the more drivers use the road, more tolls are collected, and we all move forward. Really, really fun. Okay. The other example I like to use is just the difference between, because a lot of people, when they deal with this kind of stuff, they're used to the idea of just buying coins, right? Buying tokens. They're used to saying, oh, I'm going to go buy some Bitcoin, or I'm going to go buy some Ethereum, or I'm going to buy some whatever coin out there, and hope, cross your fingers, right, that it will go up in value, and and then later on you can sell it and make money that way. Well, that's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about with being a node owner is it's like saying, hey, you know what? I would rather own the cow than buying up a whole bunch of milk and trying to resell the milk, right? I don't want to buy up a whole bunch of apples and try and sell the apples. I would rather own the orchard, right, that produces the apples. Or I don't want to buy up a whole bunch of corn and then go resell it, on the street corner. I want to own the land. I want to own the, the farm where the corn is growing. Or another example would be, I don't want to just go buy the golden eggs. I want to have the goose that's laying those golden eggs. So as a node owner with ownership, that's what you're doing, right? You're owning the asset that is then producing the rewards, okay? So the second way to participate is through what we call participation, and that is done with micronodes. Okay, so it's one thing to own, a node and have digital ownership and all that, being a digital landlord, but it's another thing to be able to say, you know what, I want to participate using some of the services that are going to be on the blockchain, right? And so you can do that because the Nodi blockchain, the only one that's doing anything even similar to this, is allowing people to have different products and services from streaming, like we're doing this very second, right? Through a meeting, through shopping, through travel, through digital storage. There's all kinds of ways that we participate in the internet, right? And by just having a subscription to different kinds of things, and there's all kinds of subscriptions out there, it allows us to earn those rewards on a daily basis through something we're doing anyway, right? So we don't have to be a node owner. We don't have to own a full node or anything like that to participate in this way, right? If you're just thinking, okay, you know what? I just want to use one of these amazing services. I just want to save money. I just want to have a better product that compared to the other stuff that's available. You can do that now through what we call X1 micronodes, which are these products and services that we're going to talk about right now. So these are real products with real utility. In other words, people actually use these. These are things that people do anyway, right? Whether it's the product called Safe, which is your data storage, right? How many people use Dropbox? How many people use Google Drive? How many people use iCloud? I think most people do. Now, what level you use it at is kind of, depends, but anybody that needs extra storage, that wants their files and their videos and everything protected, that you don't want to risk because your hard drive crashes or because your laptop got stolen or whatever, right? You want your pictures always backed up into the cloud, what we call it. Well, that's what Safe is, okay? It gives you 6 terabytes to store your stuff. Meeting, web conferencing. This meeting right this very second is an example of this. I am earning daily rewards just because I am participating with Meetin and I use it almost every day. Then there's Stacks, which allows you to save money on gift cards, so shopping, going out to dinner, and then travel. If you want to save money on hotels and even flights, right? You're getting good deals on. You can get like 5% off on a Delta gift card for your flights. All kinds of ways to save, and just by using these products and services, you can earn digital rewards from the blockchain. It's a game changer. Okay, really, really amazing. You can think of it like a mall, right? So the blockchain mall, right now, we've got these 4 stores in our mall, and they're going to keep adding more and more and more stores into our mall all the time. So it basically, what it does is it gives 2 kinds of utility, right? You've got product utility, which is what we've got right now. Okay, so you're getting real value from a product that you were going to use anyway. And then you also have the token utility, which is the loyalty, right, that we're talking about, these loyalty rewards created by the community, which means there's usability, and it expands as the community grows because these tokens now have more and more value. Okay, the more adoption there is, the more utilization there is. So again, safe. What do you get? 6 terabytes of storage. You got 2 form factor authentication. You got military grade encryption. It's all private. It's built to protect you from all those that would steal your information and steal your data and try and advertise to you based on what kind of pictures you have, that kind of stuff. There's no surveillance, all very, very private. And again, 6 terabytes for just $10 a month. Nobody else has that, anything close, okay? Meetin, again, doing meetings. If you were to get all the things that are mentioned here, 300 attendees, 100 gigabytes of cloud storage, 2 bonus meeting rooms, no meeting duration limits, language translations, teleprompter, all that stuff, right? If you were to add all those things and do it on Zoom or any of the others out there, you'd be paying well over $150 up to $500, depending on all the features you want. You get it all for just 20 bucks a month with Meetin. It's amazing, right? So much value in that. Then, of course, again, Stacks with the travel and daily instant discounts, going shopping, going out to dinner, buying groceries at Target, whatever it is, okay? You're going to be able to save money thanks to this amazing platform. But the most important thing is, of course, is that you're earning those daily rewards and earning rewards for every dollar you spend. So pretty fun. Here's an example, just so you have an idea of the savings that you could have with Stacks. This was an example from June 5th to June 14th in Tokyo, right, at the Marriott Hotel there. And you can see the comparison that the hotel website, Marriott website, it was going to be about $3,259. But with Stacks, it was only $2,504. So saving over $700 using the Stacks platform. And even with Orbit's, Expedia, and Priceline, they're still saving, $200 to $400 depending on which one. So huge savings, just one vacation, saving hundreds of dollars. It's really, really cool. And getting daily rewards just for using it. Okay. So the daily instant discounts, we are talking about hundreds of locations or even thousands of locations, depending on where you live, right? All across the United States on discounted digital gift cards. So you're saving instantly and earning the Noti rewards from the blockchain just for going out to dinner. Okay, pretty cool. All right, so what do you get for using Safe? You're going to get daily 20 rewards every single day, just even if you're not using it, even if you don't log into it, doesn't matter. Okay, you're still going to get 20 daily rewards. And if you're wanting to be an ambassador, you want to go share it with other people, you're going to get 200 rewards, not just one time, but every month when they renew their subscription. They pay the $10, right, for their monthly subscription to have 6 terabytes of space. You're going to get 200 rewards every time, right, every month. Pretty awesome. With the Meetin, okay, you're going to get 40 daily rewards every single day, You're going to refer other people to Meetin, and guess what? You're going to get 400 rewards every month when they renew their subscription. Plus, if you host meetings, you're going to get 10 rewards per meeting up to a maximum of 30 per day. So you could do 3 meetings a day and get paid 10 rewards every time you host the meeting. Okay. And then, of course, the first time you log in, you're going to get 200 rewards. The first time you watch the intro video, just for logging in, that tells you all about how Meetin works and everything, you get 200 rewards just for that. And then you create your first widget, and you're going to get 200 rewards for just the activity of doing these things. You actually get rewarded. So fun. And then coming soon with the stacks, okay, besides the daily rewards you're getting, you're also getting 100% digital rewards on card spend and travel. Okay, so that means that you spend $100, you're getting 100 rewards, right? You spend $300 on a hotel, you're getting 300 in rewards, right? It's really, really cool. And if you pay with Venmo, you actually get 150%. Pretty cool. And then if you refer other people, okay, so you tell somebody, hey, you should go get this stacks thing, right? You're going to save money going out to dinner. You're going to save money going shopping. You're going to save money, on all kinds of things, buying somebody a birthday present, right? Well, guess what? They, of course, get 100% or 150%, depending on how they pay for it. You're going to get 50%. So if they go and spend $100 at maybe they went to Texas Roadhouse for dinner, right? Well, guess what? They get 100 rewards for their purchase, but you get 50. You get 50 because they went out to dinner at Texas Roadhouse and saved some money, right? They might, let's say they save 10% off on their meal, right? So they're saving 10% off on their meal. They're getting the dollar for dollar, right, rewards, and you're getting 50% of that in rewards. It's so cool. Okay. And then some other things that are coming is AI travel planning assistance, right? They're going to integrate AI into everything, spending analysis, all that to help us save money, make sure we're making the best use of our money and savings. It's so, so cool. Okay. So really amazing ways to earn extra cash. All right. Well, you might be thinking, okay, I want all of those things, right? I want stacks and Meetin and safe, right? Is there a bundle? Is there a way I could save some money by getting all three? And the answer is yes, of course. You can actually save $10 off of the normal price if you bundle them together. So you can do for $49.95, right? Because normally stacks would be 30, okay? Meetin would be 20. And safe would be 10, right? So that's $60, but you're going to save $10 off if you bundle it and get what we call the Omni subscription. So for just $50 a month, right? $49.95, you're now getting all three, okay, which includes the travel and the discount shopping. And what that does is it now actually gives you more rewards too, because you're going to get about 120 daily rewards just for having that subscription. So even if you don't host a meeting, even if you don't log into your safe to load any pictures, even if you don't use the stacks to go shopping or travel or whatever, just nope, I'm on vacation or I'm at home or I'm at work or whatever, I didn't use it today. Doesn't matter. You still get 120 rewards every single day deposited right into your wallet, no matter what. Okay. If you use it, then you get more. Okay, but just not even using it at all, you're still going to get about 120 every single day. Pretty cool. So you think to yourself, oh my goodness, well, yeah, how do I, what point do I break even with this thing? Well, let's just assume that your Noti reward tokens were worth only about a penny, right? Just 1 cent, 1.5 cents right in there. That is all it would take for you to make enough back from your daily rewards to cover your own subscription. It's really, really cool. And then if it was more than that, let's assume, that maybe the rewards got to 5 cents or 10 cents or more. Well, yeah, that's pretty awesome. Then you might be thinking, okay, you know what? I want to boost it. I want to earn even more rewards. I want to be able to maximize and, kind of double the amount of rewards I'm getting every day. So you can do that. You can get what we call the Omni Plus subscription, okay, which is normally $110 because the booster, this DRP booster, is a $50 value. Okay. So that DRP booster for $50, you add that in there, and now your subscription, so just $99.95 a month, and you're still saving $10. And now that daily payout is 220. Okay, 220 daily rewards. You're boosting it. So that's really, really powerful because, as we're going to talk about in just a second, the other thing this one does for you is it allows you to now also participate fully in what we call our affiliate or compensation model that allows you to also earn dollars just for sharing the message. Okay. So there's going to be more apps coming soon, all kinds of things that are in the works, from cell phone service. I know there's like a ride share thing they're thinking about. There's all kinds of stuff, right? That they're coming to the table. And even at some point, we've talked about physical products like nutritional type products, things that you can't get anywhere else that you may want to order through the Noti shopping mall, right? That we talked about, that will allow you to earn digital rewards for your purchases. Okay, so lots of cool stuff coming, and we're just getting started. And the whole ecosystem is expanding, right? Businesses all over the world are wanting to be part of this. They're wanting to have a blockchain solution, right? Just like the loyalty programs, right? Like every restaurant nowadays has to have a loyalty program. If they don't have a loyalty program, they're shooting themselves in the foot, because if I go and I get an alert from Subway that I need or I just got an extra free sandwich or 50% off on a sandwich or something, and then Jersey Mike's doesn't have that, well, guess what? I'm going to choose Subway over Jersey Mike's because I'm getting a deal, right? I'm getting rewarded for that. And restaurants have figured that out, and they all use loyalty now. Well, the next big wave is going to be blockchain. Businesses that, and the same thing happened in the 90s, right? The whole .com thing was, oh, if you don't have a website, you're dead in the water, right? If you don't have a presence on Google, okay, so that you can go to Google Maps and see where, things are, you're dead in the water. Nobody's going to find you, because people now go to www.whatever.com, or they go to Google and check, hey, what's the local restaurant around here that I'm looking for? That's how people find things now, right? And so you're foolish to not be on Web 2.0 at the very least. Same thing's going to happen with blockchain. Companies that aren't part of blockchain, that aren't tied to the future of loyalty, they're going to miss out. People are going to say, you know what? If I had a choice, I'm going to go where I'm going to get the rewards, right? Instead of paying, $20 a month for Zoom, I'm going to pay $20 a month for Meeting, because at Meeting I'm getting more stuff and I'm getting daily rewards. It's a better deal. Okay, we call that the triple advantage. Okay, the triple advantage: better products, better pricing, and better rewards. If they don't have that third component of rewards, businesses are going to fail. They're going to be left behind. Okay, the businesses that adopt better rewards as part of their whole thing are going to be the ones that thrive over the next decade. It's just a given. Okay, so the third way to participate: relationship marketing, promotion, right? So as a Noti member, okay, so you're using some of the services. Maybe you're an owner, right? Maybe you decided to buy a node and everything, and that's great. But now you're thinking, okay, I need some now money, right? I want to share this with my friends. I want to share this with my family. I think this is really cool. I want my friends to also earn rewards, right? Why not? So when you come in and you invite other people to also be part of the community, you're going to get rewarded not only with digital rewards, right, Noti tokens, but you can also earn commissions in dollars. And why does the company do this? Why is Cirrus making this available, right? Well, because they know that word of mouth marketing is powerful. Okay. They know that if they advertise on TV or they advertise on Facebook or they put up a billboard, or whatever, then people might see it and they might go, yeah, okay, that looks good or whatever. But it can never compete with somebody going to a store or going to a restaurant or going to a movie and they love it. It's delicious. It's really good. Or the movie was amazing. It was super fun. And they go back to their friends and they say, have you tried out this restaurant? Did you go see that movie? No. Why? Oh, it was so good. Oh, it was delicious. Oh, the movie was so full of action and adventure. That person is now 1,000% more likely to go see the movie or go try out that restaurant because their friend or family member recommended it to them, right? Because they know their friend, they like their friend, they trust their friend, and that's what happens. So, especially among younger generation, Gen Z consumers, they're getting all their stuff through word of mouth. Okay, they're not looking at billboards, they're not watching TV. they're on their phones, right? And they're doing their Instagrams and they're doing their TikToks and whatever. And so when somebody there that they know and follow recommends it, right? That's the first thing they're going to go do. So that's why this is so powerful, because now we have that opportunity to go and share and build the community and earn commissions, but not just on people that we personally know. We can actually earn on a whole team. Okay. And that's where this now money concept comes into play, where as a Cirrus representative, you can be either an affiliate or an associate and earn on 6 generations of referral. Okay. So, because a lot of people think, well, I don't know that many people, or, I would only maybe share this with, 4 or 5 people or something, how am I going to make a lot of money with this? Well, the secret with all of it is that it doesn't, you don't have to go sign up 100 people, right? All you have to do is share it with, let's just say 4 or 5 or 6. That's it. And then what happens is those 4 or 5 or 6 go and share it with 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever, right? And it just kind of goes. It just kind of goes viral, what we call viral. And next thing you know, you have a whole team of hundreds, even potentially thousands of people over time that are just sharing, right? They save some money on travel and they tell somebody. They save some money on a restaurant and they tell somebody. They got paid a daily reward because they hosted a meeting and they tell somebody, right? And it's just natural. That's what we do. And so guess what? You have a path, very simple. It's just 1, 2, 3. You join for free, okay? Free to join. And now you're going to earn 20% on commissionable volume of all the stuff, right? And that is huge. So let's see. You guys still seeing that? I hope somebody looks like they clicked on the webinar there or the other presentation. But so simple as 1, 2, 3. Join for free, earn 20%. So basically, if you were to go and 5 people, okay, 5 people to get the same thing you got, guess what? Yours is now basically free because 5 times 20 is 100, right? So you're now making more than what you spent. But if it's an actual node, if you sold an actual node to somebody, you would get paid $360 on that because you get an extra 10%. It bumps up to 30% when you're over $1,000 in sales. Okay, so you actually have with 3, it's better than free. How cool is that? And then, of course, as you grow 6 levels of referrals as an associate, you're building a team. And now every single month, you're earning as people renew their subscriptions, right? Whether it's just $10 for the safe or $20 for the meeting, or they get a bundle, right? Whatever it is, you're getting that the 20% on all the people you personally bring to the table, and then you're earning percentages of everybody else that they bring 6 generations of relationship. So you combine that with the daily rewards from your own nodes, plus the referral rewards that you're getting, and you got daily payout, right? Like literally, it's paying you every single day into your wallet. It is super, super fun. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about why now, right? That is the big question. It's all about timing, okay? So the idea, of course, is that early adopters usually tend to have the advantage, okay? So we're going to get in early. We're going to be educated. We're going to learn all this stuff before the masses do, because the vision is massive and we have that triple threat. So it is really about timing. All these countries across the world are starting to embrace tokenization and digital assets. This is not just a United States thing. This is literally Japan, Korea, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, Europe, like everywhere is starting to adopt this concept of tokenization, Web3, cryptocurrencies, all those things. Okay. And it's accelerating. Industries and companies are rapidly adopting it. We're talking like the biggest companies out there, Walmart, the big banks, right? They're all doing it. Chase and Wells Fargo, like everything is going this direction. It's happening right before our eyes, and we are positioned to be at the forefront of it because Cirrus is just getting started. The best is yet to come with all of this. We get to take advantage of this massive wave that's going to happen, right? Again, countries are moving fast. Digital assets are gaining legitimacy, okay? It's not a question of if, it's just a question of when. Everything from manufacturing, retail, education, media, logistics, energy, science, healthcare, all of it will be on some sort of blockchain at some point. Okay. And countries don't want to get left behind. In fact, there's some countries, they're already way past where we are here in the United States. Like everything they do is already on the blockchain, even voting, right? Like government elections are already on the blockchain. Really, really fascinating what's happening. So it's a massive global transformation. Industries are being tokenized, companies are integrating in the blockchain, adoption is accelerating. This is happening, okay, with us or without us. So it's our chance to take part in something that 92% of the world doesn't even understand yet, right? We are amongst those rare 8% that are hearing about this, that are using it, and because it's becoming part of the normal everyday usage through this concept of loyalty points and daily adoption, right? That is the key. Other blockchain projects out there, they really are more just pie in the sky for high-end investors and people that really want to dive deep into the technical stuff. What Nodi and Cirrus are doing is they're bringing blockchain to the masses. They're bringing blockchain and Web3 and this idea of tokenization and loyalty to the everyday person that can now see how this could benefit them without having to invest, thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, whatever, right? And hope that maybe something happens long term. Now, this is something you can count on through the Cirrus program and the compensation model today. So we're just getting started. You are early. Momentum is real. The best is yet ahead. The future is ours to build. So thank you for being here in the beginning. It's time to take advantage of this amazing, amazing opportunity. It's as simple as 1, 2, 3. It really is. You just sign up, you pick your bundle, and then you start sharing and participating. That's all you got to do. It's not hard. You just get back to whoever invited you to watch this and ask your question, get your answers, sign up for free, and decide, how do you want to participate? Do you want to just be a customer and use some of the products? Do you want to be an owner and get a node and have be a digital landlord and take advantage of extra rewards? Or do you want to be an ambassador, right? Do you want to be an associate and actually earn some commissions just for sharing this with your friends? So that's where we're at. It's super fun, super exciting, and we're here to support you in any way we can. So thanks again for jumping on. Hopefully that was helpful. And again, all you got to do is just decide how you want to start today. Get in where you fit in, and join us on this journey, be part of the community, and get rewarded for living your life. All right. Thanks.